He's videoing too. Look at him.
I know.
Whoa.
Alright. Thank you. I hope you guys were encouraged. You button that up, you know. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so my name is Joel. I'm glad to be here. Does anyone remember some of the key words that Aaron brought up last week?
Yes.
Key words. These are huge. Oh, besides that, what book are we studying?
John,
good. Okay. That was the introductory message. What were a couple of the key words that he brought up? Kind of vocabulary words. God. Jesus.
something with children.
Okay, cool. There were at least two significant ones I really want to focus on today. One of them will start with an A. Apologetic. What? Hold on. What does apologetic mean?
You're pleading your case.
You're pleading your case. So, and you're hopefully making a very good case, right? As we're doing that. So you're making a defense, going, all the evidence points to this makes sense. And then the other was one of the other big key words he brought up last week. It starts with an E.
Evangelistic.
Evangelistic. Someone else. What does it mean to be evangelistic?
They spread the gospel.
The evangelist.
Good. Bobby's supposed to raise her hand.
It's not school.
It's okay.
No, it's Sunday school. We really should
be evangelistic in the sense of, yes, bringing the good news to others. So we're going to find out that those two things work very, very well together. And this is a little hint to let you guys know what's coming up. I'm going to teach you guys one way, one of many ways to prove that there's a God. Hopefully this will be a very practical message that you could take to your own little world, okay? And very seriously, I was so excited when I got to write down each one of your guys' names. And where do you go to school? That was the answer I was expecting from like most of y'all, and it's like, oh, you don't go to Desert Christian for the majority of it. I'm like that. There's just all these schools represented in this one room, and that's fantastic. I don't know, there might be even 10 schools represented in this room. And I work at 2 different restaurants at the moment, and I'm like, it's kind of cool that I got to see God using me over here in this sector, and Aaron, he has his own ministry here and wherever he goes, and we should really be looking forward to that. And if you have your Bibles, which you should, on your smartphone, open up to John 1, okay? John 1. And who does not go to big church? You do not go to big church. That's okay. All right, everyone else.
We're ditching.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed. You guys are really spoiled. I mean that with all my heart. You guys get to hear basically, as far as I've observed, is the gospel every single week. Every single time you're in, you're bound to hear it one way or another. And usually, it's more than once per service. Every single time, especially if there's a baptism. And that's crystal clear. And I'm telling you, some people, they've become hardened by hearing the gospel over and over. Yeah, I heard this since I was 4 years old or whatever. Guys, trivia. Okay. Who was the book of Romans written to?
People.
The Romans.
Not just the Romans, but who of the Romans?
The Christians.
The Christians in Rome. All right, the book of Colossians. Who was the book of Colossians written to?
The church in Colossal.
Colossae. Bobby, you are on a roll. All right, you don't get this next one, okay? All right, Apostle Paul. All right, who is the book of Ephesians written to?
Ephesians.
Ephesus.
Ephesus, right. Guys, think about it. The book of Romans was written to Christians. Christians who are doing amazing things. What do they need to hear? The gospel. That's what the entire book of Romans is. The book of Colossians, guess what that book is in 2 words? The gospel. And what did I mention? Colossians is also the gospel. We need to hear this regularly. Now, I'll tell you what. 1 second. I'm sorry, I just had a
brain fart.
something like that. Hey, I'll tell you what. I think about good.
Brain fart.
Good. We were very forgetful many times of one aspect of the gospel. Like I said, you guys are so spoiled. Please come with me to the Garden of Eden. Okay. In Genesis 3:15, there's something called the Proto-Evangelion, the first gospel. And it's what God tells Eve. He tells Eve this. I tell you the truth that from the seed of the woman will crush the serpent's head. Okay? And so later we find out that Eve got really excited when she got a baby. No, like girly talk, right? And who did she give birth to?
A son.
And what was his name?
Cain.
Cain. She was expecting the Messiah, and out came a baby that ended up murdering. Well, he grew up and murdered.
You don't want that picture.
Yeah, I got a picture. Like looks like Chucky, right?
Oh my God.
Cain ends up murdering his brother. That's not the Messiah. Okay. All right. Eve, you were a little confused. And that's okay. She was so expectant of the Messiah. Rightfully so. Okay. So who in human history comes up next? And then comes Noah. No, he's not the Messiah. But wait, hold on. Here comes Abraham. Abraham. No, well, I'll tell you what, Abraham, one of your descendants. Yeah, all the nations will be blessed through you. Later on, Isaac. No. Jacob. No. It's going to come through Judah. The Messiah will come. Hundreds and thousands of years later, you get Moses, you get David.
Solomon.
He's going to come through you. Good. Solomon. As if the Messiah did not come through Solomon's line, interestingly. Well, maybe he did from Joseph's part, but not from Mary. Long story short, you know who really ruined it? Daniel. Daniel, the book of Daniel, he says, you guys are going to have to wait 4 Gentile kingdoms being over Israel before you know who, the Messiah, shows up. How long was that? I'm a young earth evangelical Bible-believing Christian, so I believe the earth is roughly 6,000-ish years old. So, yeah, BC 0, and then it goes to roughly 4,000-ish BC, okay? They had to wait 4,000 years before you know who showed up. Okay, please think about that. And yet we, like I said, we're spoiled. And sometimes we lose it. We lose that. Yeah, I'll sing this song, and our mind wanders when we should be treasuring this one individual so much. Okay? Please think about that. And I'll tell you what, there are some Christians who used to be me, seriously, who want so well-meaning, who would do what? Just, hey, you know what? Hey, Jesus died for your sins, and you can be in the family of God, okay? And while those people might be really well-meaning, I think that we could really be doing people a big favor by preparing the way for them to hear the good news, okay? And so, talk about Jesus, that's great. Get there. There's a process. When you want someone who's desperate for Jesus instead of, what are you trying to sell me something? What would you guys rather have? I'd rather have someone willing to be ready for it, okay? So, and the great thing is, John, the Apostle John, really picked up on this. And guess what? He gets to tease people. There's a phrase, and one of the jobs I used to have at a restaurant, I had a boss, and he sort of teased me with, well, maybe you could have this position, and time went by, like, what? I thought you said, and so there's a phrase called dangling the carrot, like, here you go, rabbit, here you are, and you want this, don't you? And so sometimes you have that idea. And so John is really teasing us, and let's tease even non-believers sometimes with all of this. Okay, everyone there in John 1? Okay. Who would like to read? Go for it. Yes, go for it.
Okay, which is again?
John 1:1.
Okay. Now the word of the Lord came to John, and son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to... Okay, I'll just keep reading up from there.
That sounds like the book of Jonah.
Yeah, right. What the heck is John?
If that
And someone else.
I'll read it.
Go for it, please.
Just John 1:1.
Just John 1:1.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
All right. Hey, come on, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, good, because we made it look like our answers.
All right. What's your issue?
There's one God, Allah.
Oh, hold on. You're the wrong guy. Where's my atheist?
There you go. It was
Hey.
my brother.
Interrupt.
Oh, you're being a mother.
There is no God.
There is no God. Come up here. What's your name? Aaron. Okay. Really, there is no God. Okay. So that verse mentions that there's a God. In the beginning was ultimately God, and you disagree to that. Okay. Guys, please listen up. Okay. Here's one way to demonstrate that there is a God. Okay. Are your guys' ears up? Okay. This one proof is called the 1, 2, 3 method of the origins of the universe. Okay. So listen, Aaron. Let me know if this makes sense, and use your fingers. Okay. There are 3 options to how this universe came to be. Okay. 3 options. What's the first one? First one is everything's always been here. Okay. Is that a fair option? Things always been here. The problem with it is all the scientists reject it. Because our universe is still expanding, so they say that everything came from one point and burst from there. Sound good enough that that's no good? There must have been a true beginning, not everything's just always been here. Second option is nothing created everything. You ever think about that? Nothing is nothing. Okay. Aristotle said nothing is what rocks dream about. Okay? Hey, look, guys, we found nothing doing something. That would be absurd, wouldn't it? Okay. So those 2 options. What is left? What's left for the third option? You let me know if you come up with a 4th option, because I can't find one. The third option, someone or something outside of our dimensions of time, space, and matter created everything. It makes sense? Can you guys remember that? I hope so. Okay. All right, let's review. All right, guys, what's the first one?
Everything was there.
Everything has always been here. Second option.
Nothing created everything.
Nothing created. And third option.
Nobody created it.
Someone outside of our dimensions created it. All right, and then, but then, so you're going to say that that's my God. My God created everything, right? So your next response, atheist, by the way, this is a big line for them. So, who created God? Isn't that what you want to ask? Is that a good question? Who created God? Guys, right here, John 1:1, it says, in